email me, Linda Steele.
All right. Hey there, it's Brian Sebastian, Movie Reviews and More, the Women's Broadcast TV Network, Worldwide TV.tv, WomenOnTV.tv, and iTube247 out of Tennessee. And I'm so glad. I've been wanting to get these two together, but they didn't know that for the longest time. I've always been looking at this guy for years. I've always admired him, what he's done, the things that he's done in the military as a LA police officer, and the list goes on and on and on. Bruce, you didn't know this, but I've always been a fan of you. And first of all, we got to thank you for your service, because I've been wanting to say that to you personally for years. Not in the military, but also as an LAPD officer, all the charity stuff that you do around the world, I would say. So,
thank you very much.
Let's welcome Bruce. Bruce, mention your last name, what you are.
Cardenas, Bruce Cardenas.
And the one and only from Chicago, with all of her fans usually on, Linda Fit Body Steele.
Hello, how you doing?
All right, let's kick this off. Hey, so Bruce, so you started in the military, which I think is always really important. I started in the Drum and Bugle Corps world. Did you always know you were going to be a police officer?
Yeah, I always knew I was going to be a police officer. And actually, when I was a teenager, I got out of high school, and I asked my local police chief to hire me, and he said, go in the Marine Corps, specifically the Marine Corps, and when you get out, I'll hire you. So I went in the Marine Corps and realized there's a big world out there, and I never went back to New Jersey.
Good for you.
And I go back to visit. That's my hometown, but I didn't go back after the military.
Yeah, and I get it. And then you end up moving to Los Angeles, and then you ended up becoming into an LAPD officer?
LAPD officer, I did that for quite a few number of years, and then I became, I was eager to become an entrepreneur. I started turned out to be a pretty successful bodyguard business and personal protection, and I left doing the police work full time because I couldn't manage both. I really wanted to pursue the private sector, but I'm still a reserve with the sheriff's department, so I get to give back to the community, and I work a couple times a month.
Yes, and I see you always working out, and I see you always, keeping up your gun training, which I think is great. But I always see you, and I always admire you at this point. You're always out there with charities. Talk about that, because charities are important to you.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've always it's been in my DNA to give back, and everyone can give back. It doesn't matter how much money you make. If you give $1, you give product. It's just all about giving back and helping others that are less fortunate. That's just how I'm wired. I mean, it just comes naturally to me. I enjoy helping others, and there's a lot of great charities. Cancer has been a big foundation for me because it's affected our family, and our company has spent a lot of money on cancer research, which is a whole nother conversation. But we started a ketogenic dog food company based on cancer research. So,
and then you end up getting into Quest. Now, and Linda will tell you this, I only like one energy bar, one protein bar, and that's Quest. And the reason why I like them, I'm not a fan of chocolate. I'm not a fan of vanilla. So the one thing that I always saw you guys coming up with through the years, which I admired, you came out with different bars, and always really, really good. When I last saw you at LA Fit Expo, Linda, he gave me this. You can see.
Oh, is that the birthday cake one?
There you go.
I love that.
And then the new one was this. So I always make sure I have one left, because people are always asking me, how do I get this? I go, contact Bruce from Quest.
Yes.
Yes. And Linda, tell him what you do so he has an idea. And Linda likes Quest bars too.
I do. So, Bruce, I have been in the industry for 17 years now. As a matter of fact, my training is military-based. The person who trained me, he was a master trainer for the United States government for 15 years prior to me meeting him. And so the program that he taught me is the same program that he used with his recruits, but he watered it down for civilian use, obviously. And but it really was just a balance of your cardiovascular activity, your weight training, and your nutrition. And if you could balance those three things out, your body goes into a nice balance, and it's going to settle into a nice position so that you'll be at essential body fat, and you'll get good sleep every night, and you'll be able to manage stress very well. And there are a lot of benefits for it. Now, it's based on the math and biology of the human body, which never changes because math and biology have already been set. And so when I've worked with clients, I've actually worked with some clients for as long as I've been in the industry, and they always wonder, when are things going to change? And I tell them, why would it change? Math and biology of our body has not changed yet. So we're just going to keep on track because it seems to be working very well for us.
That's amazing. So you've been doing this for 17 years?
17 years.
So you started like in grade school?
Yeah, I was like 12.
Wow, that's amazing. No, good for you. That's very exciting. I'm glad to hear that. Very inspiring.
Yeah, it is. And, what it's done for me is, when I first started, I knew nothing about anything. And so when I started discovering the right way to do things, because there's all those different things you read on the internet, when I finally figured out this is the right recipe and it's working, oh my gosh, it's working. I felt like I had to tell everybody in the world about it. So that's what made me get into the industry. And then from there, I started writing articles, magazine articles, and, going live with people like Brian, a Women's Broadcast TV Network, and UK
That's
Health
cool.
Radio, and so forth.
I love it.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
the other thing, Bruce, the other thing I liked about her, imagine this, Jim, Linda had not one, but 2 gyms as a former gym owner. So I always talk about, when I'm talking about you, Linda, I always tell people you getting up early, going to open your gym at 5 o'clock in the morning. And
5 o'clock in the morning. Every day for I don't even know how many years. I worked for a corporate entity for about 6 years, but after that I owned my gym for almost 10 years.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's always been, it's always been a fantasy of mine to own a private gym. I don't know why. It's just something I admire. And it's interesting during this situation we're in. I think gyms are the most important thing for health and mental wellness. And it's just ironic we can't have them open.
I know it blows my mind because, as also being a well-being advisor, it's imperative. And the fact that they've shut them down, I understand their point about social distancing, but there are ways around it. Not every gym is packed as, Export or Lifetime. There are some nice private gyms that you only find 10, 15 people in, maybe 30 people in a 10,000 square foot area. So it's not, I feel like they should let us kind of use our best judgment.
It's definitely manageable. I run into more people bumping into me when I go to Walmart than I would at a gym. So
yes.
Anyway,
yes,
that's for another conversation.
So Bruce, at this point, how did you get into Quest? Because you picked the right business to jump in. How did that happen for you?
So I'll be honest with you, and this is really important for people to hear. I was the least qualified to work at Quest. I say that. I serendipitously met Shannon Penna, who goes by Quest Creator. You should look her up. She and I worked out at the same gym. She was actually a very fit woman who always read bodybuilding magazines on doing cardio. So I'd make small conversation with her. Her husband worked out there too. And no idea they started Quest. And I ran into them at the LA Fitness Expo just as a consumer. At the time, they had 2 flavors. They had a little tiny table. And we started, oh my God, there's the woman from the gym. And we hit it off again. And she gave me some samples. And I don't know why, but the products were really good. But I inherently wanted to share them with people. And I remember I got some product from her. And a week later, I ran into her at the gym and said, hey, a friend of mine is doing a celebrity golf tournament at Riviera. Would you like to donate some product to the gift bags? And they were like, oh my God, of course. So I got the product into people's hands. And fast forward, I basically helped them for about 9 months with relationship building, getting product in people's hands, got it on a set of extra. And while I still had my own security bodyguard business. And I would keep running into her at the gym saying, hey, can I get more product? I have another event. And I would send her pictures and videos. And they started inviting me by the office. And 9 months later, they're like, hey, we really want you to join our team. You're either a spy trying to destroy our business, or because like they were asking, why are you helping us? Because I didn't ask for anything. And one of the things I practice in life, I always tell people, if you want, bring value and ask nothing first. Bring value to people or companies and then ask for nothing. It's really hard for people to get that concept. Mm-hmm. So I just helped them. And I got the product everywhere. And I was obviously protecting a lot of celebrities, so I would send product to the house. And it just evolved to where they're like, hey, join the team. And at the time, it was a very small company. There was no vision of them being successful. When I actually, from the office I had over in Santa Monica, a beautiful office with an assistant, I went to their office and I was like, God, this is in the ghetto. They're producing bars in this little crappy warehouse. And I thought, they're not going to be in business in a year. But it ended up, let me end that, sorry. And I ended up, we just evolved to now 10 years later, we're making, I think, 1.5 million bars a day.
Wow.
And it's been an interesting journey of all relationship building, And I really believe we're changing. You know, if you look at our website, we've had thousands of success stories of men and women that have lost 100 pounds and contributed Quest bars to their go-to snack. And we never thought that was going to happen. Also, just started happening. People started talking about us, and it just evolved. So,
you know what I like about Quest bars, and Brian, I know that was probably your turn to talk. I'm sorry.
No, you're a woman. It's your turn.
Exactly. And if I don't say it right now, I'm going to forget what I was going to say.
Yeah.
So what I really love about Quest bars, and because people ask me all the time, you know, if I'm going to have a bar, what should I have? And I always prefer my clients eat food. But I also know that people come into emergency situations too. The reason I like Quest bars, protein bars, is because they're one of the very few who can actually call themselves a protein bar, because it has more protein than carbohydrates. And that's so important. And it's hard to find, because a lot of protein bars are higher in protein or higher in carbohydrate or about equal. And then they should be called a carb bar or a candy bar.
Yeah, and it's funny because we've always practiced the low carb, high protein, gluten-free philosophy, and no added sugar. And yeah, it's worked for us. And obviously people like taste and texture, so gravitate. Yeah. But same thing with us. If you called us, we would first recommend whole foods. You know, protein bars and supplements are an additional added value, whether you travel, whether you're on the go. But at the end of the day, whole foods is really the best way to
nourish your body.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
You know, what's funny about that, Bruce, is your slogan, as you would say, what you talked about, I wholly believe in that, because whenever I'm traveling, whether it's around the world or whatever the case may be, the first thing I'm looking at is, are there any Quest bars in here? And if they're not, I want to know why. So I always say, hey, you got to contact this person and he will hook you up with that. You need to have these bars in here, because they have many different flavors. So I've always done that. And then Linda, always seeing Bruce at different events. We have the same friends. You know, half the people that I would interview who are my friends, he wears their personal protection and his agency, which I thought was funny. When Britney Spears first came out, I was one of the few people interviewing her. So he might have been always behind the scene, but he kept that relationship with us. I always admire to today, because they look up to him. And when you have flashbacks to stuff, we just had one of our friends pass away. It's kind of sad, because their lives were changed because you helped protect them. And I always wanted to say that to you personally, because that's important. Because without Arnold or even The Rock, a few other people being there, look where we are. It's hard to be where our friends are. It's hard to come up and shake their hand or give them a hug, because a lot of people need it. So when I'm looking at these Quest bars, first thing I think is Bruce. He didn't have to,
That's nice.
he didn't have to give this to me, but he did. So whenever I'm in Tennessee or Georgia and I see these people, I want to give them something because it was passed to me. And that's very, very important. So I want to personally thank you for that, because it's important.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I always tell people this: if you're going to start a food company, give product to people, put it in people's hands. That was one of our early successes. And even early on, we would, if someone wrote us, and this was actually before Instagram, Facebook was just starting, and we jumped on the Facebook bandwagon. But if someone wrote us, we would send complimentary 2 full bars, pay for postage. And a lot of people were blown away by that, but I've always practiced that. I give away, I don't know, I'm going to say 1,000 bars every couple of weeks, just walking around. I don't care whether you're at Starbucks in line or I just meet you at the gym, or you always share a product with people, because no one ever forgets getting that, especially if they enjoy it.
That's so true. I'm in the service industry, so I don't have anything tangible to give away. But even when I give somebody my time, you know, advice on nutrition, or advice if they have a shoulder injury or, you know, a hip replacement or something, even giving them my time and the advice that I'm able to give them in, you know, whatever time we have, they're so grateful. And
absolutely.
You could change somebody's life by just, you know, giving. It's amazing, because there's not a lot of people out there who do it anymore.
Very cool.
Linda,
Yeah, good. I'm sorry.
Oh no, Bruce, go ahead.
No, I'm a firm believer. One of my practices, you know, even though I stole it from Zappos, Tony Hsieh is delivering happiness, and whether it's a tangible thing or just sharing, like she said, spending time talking to someone to help them through some problems or physical injuries. It's all about helping other people.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I live my life.
Yeah, agreed.
Linda, last time we talked, you had your date night and you were working on still working on your legs without the machines that you needed from your old gym. Have you corrected that?
Well, So I'm still using, I'm still going old school, and I'm still using park benches. And but I do have some more stuff in my gym. I have a piece coming soon. Rogue is the brand name, and it's a device that actually will attach to my garage wall, and it folds in so I can still park my car in the garage. But when it folds out, you can put an Olympic bar on it, and you can squat, you could lunge, you could do shoulder press, bench press with it. So I have that coming. I'm pretty excited about that. I have some cables coming soon as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have a Rogue rack. Rogue's great. I have a rack too.
I've never had anything because I owned my own gyms. I didn't need to have anything at home. And in fact, I didn't want anything at home. I wanted to, get out of the home if I was going to work out. And so now I'm just collecting little pieces here and there, and it's going well. I have some clients that have been quarantined and or social distancing, and so I'm allowing them to come into my garage to train. And they're an elderly couple, as a matter of fact, and so I know that they're not going anywhere. They're retired, but they come into my gym my garage 3 times a week and train, and they're doing great.
That's cool.
They're excited about the new machines coming in because they like to do stuff like that.
Yeah, you know what I've been doing a lot of is these Zoom workouts, which I never thought I had a personal trainer, and now I'm actually like enjoying them.
Yeah. I have clients that I've been FaceTiming with and Skyping with for their sessions, and they actually are starting to like it better. They're like, I don't have to take time to, make sure the kids are taken care of. I shut the door. They're gonna be fine. I don't have to take the time to drive to the gym. I can roll out of bed. Brush my teeth, and I'm ready to roll. So the people are actually liking it better, and I feel like I've mentioned this numerous times, but I can't get the saying out of my mind because it's the truth. Us personal trainers are reinventing ourselves, and we are doing things completely differently than we have all these years. And I feel that I've adapted quite well. My clients have adapted quite well, and so I'm assuming that other trainers have also. This is the new normal, and I don't know if and when it's going to go back to the way it was. So I'm just embracing it. This is my new normal. This is how I do it.
There you go.
Bruce, it's interesting. I'm talking to Dan Solomon, as you know, from Miss the Olympia Tuesday on the show. And we're going to find out because right now, I know it's canceled right up until September 16th. I know the Olympia is September 3rd still. So Dan's going to update me with the latest news of what will be going on. And since I'm here quarantined at my house by myself in Vegas, they still haven't opened up anything yet. So I'm waiting to see how they're going to do conventions. So you were at the Arnold in February. You just did the fitness portion, I think, right? Or did you not go?
So what happened with the Arnold, literally, I think my flight was booked for Wednesday. I think on Tuesday night, they canceled it.
Yeah.
Which obviously is understandable. It cost companies a lot of money because a lot of companies already had shipped their product, but they still had the bodybuilding aspect of it with no fans, and I think the strongman. I don't really know what's going to happen the rest of 2020. I mean, obviously events are, I'm at events almost every weekend of the year. And I'm just not sure how quickly America's going to open up and embrace events. I'm concerned about that. So we'll see what happens. Events and demos and expos, all those things.
Mm-hmm. Right. I've been talking to for the Emmys, because you go to a lot of these awards. You've been to Screen Actors Guild Awards, BET Awards. You name it. You've been there, and that's what I like, because I can say Quest is one of the brands around the world that's been to almost every event. Now, I didn't see you in Miami, but I knew Quest was there. I knew you were there.
No, I was at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know you were there. I was there. I was at the Lee Steinberg party, but I know Quest was there someplace.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because I'm very blessed to be in those relationships where we've had product in all the green rooms and dressing rooms, all the awards you talked about, the BET and Emmys. That there again, I think that world is going to change. Maybe there'll be no audiences, who knows? But I think at least for the rest of 2020, hopefully it goes back to what's normal.
It's interesting. Yeah, I was talking to Stan Rosenfeld. His clients are George Clooney, Danny DeVito, Morgan Freeman, Robert De Niro. So they're all of age. So the one thing he said to me, he goes, Brian, if anybody in entertainment says they know what's going on, they don't know what's going on in entertainment. So for his clients, they don't have to work for the rest of the year because they're okay, but they're also of that age. It's really interesting. So one of the things I would say is I don't see anything right up until November, December, and even the films that I would be reviewing and getting the links to, they moved them all to next year. So that tells me something already.
Yeah, it's interesting. The whole world's changed. I watched a show the other day. I think it was All Rise. It's a, like a hour show, but the entire show was all Zoom. They did, it was a very cool production, and I could see that happening for a while too, just like Saturday Night Live did.
Yes, it works. And
yeah.
Like I said, that's one reason why I was rushing to do all this stuff. So for me, how can we help get more Quest word out? Because you can't get to those events, and that's what you're used to doing, being there. How can we help you guys?
Well, I tell you, I think we're very fortunate because of the 10 years that we've established a company. We're a pretty big company. I mean, we're not starting out. So I think we're pretty well established. We're still doing a lot of stuff on social media. Online is a big presence. So yeah, I think we're good. I mean, we're as active as ever. Nothing's missed a beat as far as our social media and giveaways and stuff we're doing. Yeah.
Hey, Linda, any of your fans, have they most of them heard of Quest? Have most of them tried it that you know of?
Oh, I'm sure. I don't know anybody who hasn't heard of Quest.
Good.
Honestly, it's probably, I'm going to say, the most popular bar out there. I mean, Cliff Bar is probably another really popular one that everybody hears of. I'm guessing that they might be, your competition.
No competition. There's no competition in the world. It's just
different.
Yeah. No. I've never looked at anything in competition. Matter of fact, I'm probably one of the anomalies. I embrace other people's products. If I enjoy someone's product, I'll eat it. Kind and Cliff are both big, powerful bar companies that do very well, and they have different. I think we all have our own customers, and we initially started out very deep in the fitness space. Now we're just everywhere because I don't know if you guys are aware, but we've gone from bars, chips, powders, cookies, pizzas, ready to drink. We've become a food company.
Yes.
So
I didn't realize drinks also.
Oh yeah, ready to drink. As a matter of fact, we just made a big donation to Feed America pallets of the ready to drinks and
wow, that's
going
great.
back to the charity. I don't say this like, hey, look at us, but we've donated a lot of product. Matter of fact, I have some pallets being delivered to some hospitals in LA for the first responders. But yeah, we're full food company now. Pizzas in the frozen section, so it's kind of fun. Yeah, I just made pizza the other day for a couple of my friends. Yeah.
Wow, that's gonna be a big hit.
Yeah, it's doing very well.
Great. Wow. Yeah, I like what you said about competition. Even when, I don't know if you're familiar, you have a personal trainer, so I'm sure you're aware, when a new personal trainer comes into the building, all the trainers are like, oh, they're good business, and I'm usually like the one to go, oh, hi, let me walk you around, let me show you the place, and I'll introduce them to even my clients. I don't find any other trainers a threat to me because I feel like we all have our own appeal and we all have our own personalities, and we're not going to mesh with everybody, but we're going to mesh with our clients. Our clients are very loyal. 100%. And so I don't feel competition when I see another trainer. I feel like, oh, good, another one's added to the
exactly
team. That's how
I mean, listen, inherently we all have that little bit in our soul, like, hey, what's going on over there? But at the end of the day, if you carve out your own niche and you have your own expertise, your clients aren't going anywhere. And that's how I look at it with our products. It's like we have our loyal fans. Yep. And if they want to try something else cool, they're going to come back. I mean,
right.
I've just never looked, even when I did bodyguard work, I never looked in the rearview mirror. There's always other people doing what I do or they do, but you carve out your niche and you're good at what you do,
Sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I've always said that same thing too, because competition is good. It's what drives you. I mean, there's no Larry Bird without Magic Johnson.
Well, the problem is sometimes people obsess on what the competition's doing and they don't keep their eye on their own ball.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. That's so true. And it gets ugly. It gets ugly. Yeah. When that happens, I see a lot of that on social media with grown adults. I see them, putting those they're kind of like backward-handed compliments, or they're trying to beat around the bush, but you know exactly what they're saying. And I've seen a few recently, and I wanted to call the person and say, knock it off. You look like an idiot. You look like a high school kid trying to make your point. Who is your beef with? Just address it because you look bad. But you know what? Sometimes it's just best to, let them go, and they'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah, I always say starve the noise, right?
Yep.
Bruce, you're also a member of Metal. It's always good to see Ken Rotowski. For Linda, it's, Media, Entertainment, Technology Alpha League. When the guys get together once a month, we have co-host, co-ed, which I think is good. It's always good. I remember seeing you at Ken's house. You were just upstairs. You were in deep thought. I'm like, I wonder what he's brainstorming on next.
Yeah, Ken, it was actually Ken's birthday yesterday.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Metal's been a great organization. It's funny, I went as a guest to his radio show with one of our founders, and Ken said, hey, you should join us we do a hike every Sunday. And I love the outdoors, so I went on a hike, and the founder never went back, and I joined, and it's been I think I've been a member for 8 years. It's been cool. I mean, it's been a lot of rewarding relationships with some like-minded people. And you're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with, and I like being around people that are driven or ambitious, and it's just a cool group.
Yep. Yeah, so give Quest websites.
Give them?
Yeah, social media links.
Oh, I think everything is questnutrition.com. Everything. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everything's Quest Nutrition. Yeah.
Linda, you haven't been able to get to the movies, but what have you been watching? Oh, let's see. There are a few things that I'm watching on Netflix, and I'm not watching a lot because I'm finding that I'm more busy now than I was before.
Yeah.
Reinventing myself, that is. But I have watched Narcos on Netflix. I believe it's Netflix, and I forget the name. The Ozarks is good.
Yep.
Have you watched that?
Oh, Jason Bateman. Yep.
Yes. So there are a few of them that I'm watching, but I'm finding myself so busy. By the time I sit down at night, after I'm done with my Skype calls and, my training and so forth, writing my articles, I'm responding to emails. I try to get involved in my own charity. Actually, my favorite charity is St. Joe's Little Sisters of the Poor. They house the poor elderly. And the place is amazing. It's run by nuns. And but don't be fooled, they have happy hour on Sundays. So but it is just an amazing place. They are not funded by the state. They are not funded by the archdiocese. They're strictly funded by benefactors, and they have volunteers who come in daily and help take care of these people. And it's just a great place. So I run my own little auctions, silent auctions, and sell things, and I donate the money to Little Sisters.
That's cool. Find out if the nuns like protein bars. We'll send them.
Oh, they would love it. I will find out.
I'm gonna send some either way. I'll get your information when we get off the phone. But
okay.
But also, if you have a couple fans you want to pick, I don't know how this works with your following, but as long as they're in the United States, it makes it easy. I'll send the package.
Okay.
If you pick a couple people from this show.
Okay, great. I'll go through back and look at the comments, because there are a lot of people commenting. Now we have Zurich in the house, New Mexico. I'm sorry. So
hey, Linda, we got about 4 minutes. Find 2 of your fans out of the millions that you have and see if they have a question about Bruce or Quest.
Okay. Any questions for Bruce? Let me see. The nuns have happy hour. That's what I'm getting. So we want a question for Bruce for Quest Nutrition. Does anybody have one? Let me see.
And Bruce, what I set her up to do, I wanted her to go live on her outlet. So I think she's on her Twitter live and her Facebook live.
Yeah, it's fun. I like this. I've never done this. This.
And something, now that we're at the end, people are starting to get a little bored and they have to go back to work and so forth. So I don't have that many people. I have like 50 people.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, and I don't see questions coming in. And also they're like delayed. I have to actually scroll on the phone.
And this is the first time, Bruce, we've done it outside. We usually do it inside her place. Linda, what shoes are you wearing? Bruce, you get a kick out of this. What do you got? How many shoes do you have, Linda?
I just had a question, something about chocolate and peanuts. Can you resend that question? I'm wearing gym shoes today. Nothing fun.
What does she have? A shoe collection?
Oh, do I have a shoe collection?
What, really?
Should I bring you guys into my shoe room?
No, That's a problem.
Tell them how many shoes you have, Linda.
I don't know.
Like
probably got 500.
Oh.
I'm gonna say 500, but I have an entire room, floor to ceiling shelves with shoes on them.
Wow.
And then so Bruce, when she's getting ready to do whatever, going out, whatever, her whole fans can see her whole shoe closet.
Yeah, it's fun. Okay, I have a question. What kind of pizza does Quest have?
It's everything's weight-based, but we have a cheese, pepperoni, supreme, and a spinach and mushroom. You could get them right now at Ralph's, which is Kroger's around the country, and Target around the country.
Okay. Cool. Did you hear that? Cheese and sausage. My mom is on and says, I can't have chocolate or peanuts. Do you have anything that doesn't have chocolate or peanuts?
Your mom's on?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
She's
we
like,
have we have white chocolate wrap. Yeah, we have lemon. We have 24 flavors. I'll get mom's address to me, and I'll make sure she gets a package.
Guess what? Mom lives at St. Joe's Little Sisters.
Your mom?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. She's done. We'll send it. And we have protein chips. We have chips that taste like tortillas. We have nacho flavor. I made them for yesterday for Cinco de Mayo. I made nachos with our chips.
Awesome. All right, we're gonna have to talk.
Yeah, no. We have a whole smorgasbord of products.
All right, cool. Let me see.
All right. You got one more question before we lead out?
One more question. They're coming in. Instagram is like stuck. I don't see the questions coming in.
It's all good.
People are saying hi to my mom on this.
Hey, Bruce, before we let you go, Bruce, have you seen any good movies the last couple of weeks?
Have I? I've been watching a lot of, God, now I'm blank on the movies. I watch a movie almost every night online, and
I'm bad with names too. I'm so bad.
Like I watched The Departed probably 6 times. I watched it again the other night. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I'll have to write down. I should know that you're going to ask that question, Brian. That's what you do. I need to write these down because I'm doing the same thing.
Well, I got so many good movies that no one can see that they're sending me the links, I mean, they could go to the theaters right now.
Right. Well.
Right.
That's all right. You get to watch in the comfort of your own home.
Exactly. All right, Linda, it's always good to see you. Give them your website one more time, your links, Linda.
My links. Twitter is Linda Steele Hot 1, Steele. Instagram is Linda Steele Fitbod. And, I'm on Tumblr, I'm on Facebook. There are plenty. Somebody says, hey, Bruce, from an Army kid. Salute.
Semper Fi.
Semper Fi.
That's good.
Yeah.
So for Bruce, so in case you don't know, she's really big and also on the gaming side of things. So if I remember, Linda, you're between 8 and 10 million followers on all your platforms still. I think so. I can't remember. And you know what? My Instagram account, I've had to restart that twice now, and I was at about 380,000 followers, and I had to start from zero twice.
I got hacked?
Very bitter. Yeah, I got hacked twice.
Oh, sorry.
And very, very bitter about it. Every time someone talks about their followers, I'm like, I can't. I get so. But it's okay. I mean, it happens. Bruce, before you leave, St. Jude's Hospital is my favorite in Tennessee. So Terry Thomas out of there, Edie Hand, Elvis Presley brand, Graceland, all of that. That's one of our main bases in Nashville and Franklin, Tennessee. But also, I tell them about you because I don't see a lot of them down there. So I do what I can. I just personally go and buy them, and I give them out to a lot of the people down there when I see the women.
I'll send them. We're in Tennessee. Yeah. We're all over Tennessee.
Yeah. One piece of advice, if you had to leave to anybody who's following what you're doing, who admires where you came from, what would you give them?
For me?
Yeah.
I believe in relationship capital. Build relationships that are a two-way street. Don't be a taker. Don't be a giver. Be both, And like I said, bring value without asking for anything. I tell a lot of young kids that want to aspire to run companies, bring value. Go in and do something and work hard. Don't have your hand out and you'll be a millionaire. But, don't have your hand out first. Show your value.
All right, with that, I'm going to end. So for Linda Steele, who's got us, and Brian Sebastian, Movie Reviews and More, WomanOnTV.tv, iTube 247 out of Tennessee. I want to thank you guys. This is a fun show, and we will see you next week.